welcome back to my channel. My name is Buntla. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys know what to do, just like, share, comment, and do not forget to subscribe. In my previous video, actually, I had mentioned that I'm gonna talk about my experience with contraceptives, and that's exactly what I'm going to do today. I'm just going to share my own experience, but I'm also going to share with you how I deal with pain, because it's said to be that contraceptives is one way to manage pain, but what do you do when it's not working for you, right? So yeah, I got my diagnosis in November 2019. I was told, you have endometriosis, these are the options, but one of them was a specific contraceptive, and I'm not going to really mention my experience, or rather I'm not going to mention particular brands, because I'm not bashing anyone or any company or anything like that, so it's just me. I've had a bad experience with contraceptives since I was young. I was told to be on them, it would help with the pain, but it almost would aggravate my symptoms. I would bleed more. I would experience more pain, so I found myself not responding well. And this is not just when I got diagnosed with endometriosis. This was when I was much younger. When I was 16 as well. I was put on some pill, and I didn't respond well to it. It really affected me. Maybe I didn't give it a chance to work for my body. Then I tried a different one, and same with that one, it didn't work for me. So I almost got scared and a little bit traumatized of how it would really aggravate my symptoms. So I never really wanted to try it. So for probably over 10 years I didn't use any of them, right? But now a lot of people would recommend them, but I didn't want to, and so when I tried again in 2019, when I had gotten the diagnosis, I was like, okay, fine, it's been a long time, let me give it a try, and I'm desperate to heal and to not experience any more pain. Then I get on this pill that I was recommended. Do I not end up in hospital? Literally. And I had never slept in hospital ever, but literally I started taking the the pill, and it didn't end well. I had gone to the gynae because I was in so much pain, and then was like, oh, okay, this is what's wrong with you, fine. And then for them to recommend something, it was even mentally, it was such a weird and painful, traumatic thing to go through, because it's like, but I came for help, and now you've given me something that's put me in a worse off position. So anyway, I ended up in hospital for 5 days, I think it was. And in hospital, they're wanting to treat you for your bowel, and it's like, no, I'm good, my system is flowing, and they're just like, no, just in case. And it's just like, that's the frustrating thing when you're diagnosed with something like endometriosis. They think you just, oh no, your stomach is just clogged up a little bit, and it's like, I know the pain I'm feeling, that's not it. So anyway, I ended up in hospital, and I could not believe it. So for me, my personal experience is that I stay away from any of those pills and stuff, because for me, every time without fail, it makes things worse for me. So I'm choosing that's not how I want to deal with things, right? And so I had such an interesting experience when I was in hospital. I think that's when I had my encounter with God, and I almost feel like that's when he sort of opened up my eyes to what my purpose should be, which is to heal, you know. It was life changing, literally, you know. But anyway, the video is, it's not about that today. I'm gonna just continue to, you know, tell you, like, if I'm not on contraceptives, like, what am I doing, you know? How do I manage the pain? How do I deal, right? So it's funny, I literally have to carry certain things in my handbag all the time. So some of the things that I always have in my handbag, because pain will come at any moment, right? So for one, I keep this what's this? It's like an oil blend, right? My mom made it. She sells them, yes, but the thing about it, right, it's specifically made for an individual and an individual's needs, right? So how does this help me with pain? So because I pray to God, okay, and I sort of try to be in a space where the smell, I feel that this has some kind of anointing, let me just put it that way, okay? She also prays for it, and I think imparts some sort of like healing, and so I always keep it on me, right? It has a lot of lemongrass because that's what I really like, but yeah, just the smell puts me like, okay, in a good space. It lifts my mood, and sometimes even like a headache, you know what I mean? It helps. So that's like, I always keep it with me, okay? So another thing, which, you know what, I'm exposing myself because this literally, I found this in my handbag like literally now. It's like empty. Painkillers, whether it's so I generally use Miprodol, Adcodol, and if it's really bad, maybe Sinaleve or Mypaid Forte, and then there's the other, you know, stronger pills, but just on average those are the ones I take. So, you know, sometimes I could finish one of these in a day, okay, and I think that's a lot. Sometimes it's a little bit more in a day. Obviously I've decreased now because I try to manage it. I really try to space it out, you know what I mean? But I'll move on. Another thing is this tea, right? I take it everywhere. I literally, sometimes I'm in a restaurant and maybe I'm not feeling okay, whether it's this tea or ginger tea, I always carry it with me because it really helps with the bloating, okay? And so sometimes the bloating is so painful, and it's like, but wow, this is a lot, right? And honestly, it has helped me to just keep some of these things always on hand. So tell me you suffer from chronic pain without telling me you suffer from chronic pain. And for me, it's I have a hot water bottle, I have this heating pad, like a box of heating patches as well, heating pad, another one with like grains inside. I have these all like laying all over the house. This one is not opened yet because I kind of just got it, but heating pad, always stay ready, you know. There's these really great Femagene patches from Dischem. There's others, obviously, you know. There's Deep Heat. That one I think lasts a little bit longer for me, and it feels, I think, more intense. But if you're too maybe sensitive around the abdominal area, maybe don't get one that's like, it feels too hot, because I actually got to a point where, you see, my complexion is dark, right? And you could see the bruising from how much like heat I was putting because of the pain, right? I was literally bruising because nothing was hot enough to ease the pain. And yeah, but I just think, you know, it's important to just keep heating pad. It really comes in handy. It helps me. And you can just like walk around, you're wearing jeans or dress, whatever. It might maybe show a little bit, but I think those patches, maybe not necessarily this one you just pop in a microwave and it's like great, or in boiling water. But yeah, those are just some of the things that I help to like manage my pain. It's so crazy. And I have, these are just 3 boxes, okay? There's maybe, I don't even know how many boxes of tablets of pills, just they are all over the house, okay? And it's tiring, you know. I thought I would probably make it a separate video, but I just included, there's something called pill fatigue, guys. You get tired of just popping pills. Sometimes it's the supplements, because you know I have to be taking magnesium, iron. Luckily I take that in liquid form, so it kind of makes it a little bit easier, but still remembering to do that is a lot. You know, I have to take the medication for some of the pain and stuff I'm managing. There's, you know, vitamin B, C, D. It's a lot, okay? And this is why, like, I feel like it's classified as just being chronically ill, is because you chronically in pain and chronically have to take all this medication, you know what I mean? Like, because if you don't, you're lacking in certain things, and then that's gonna affect your day and your pain and stuff like that. So, you know, guys, please be kind to someone if you see them popping pills, and if that's how you want to deal, there's no shame. It's okay. You don't have to be that person who's like, I'm not taking anything, I'm gonna be strong. No, listen, do what you need to do. Take the pills, take them, right? But everything needs to be in moderation, right? I want to get to a place where I don't want to. I remember I was on a fast with my mom, and you know what, I was able to go through like all the pain, all the symptoms without painkillers. I think this was in October last year, I think. I can't remember, but probably for like a month or 2, no painkillers. That's wild, you know, for me who's constantly in pain. At least in the week I'll at least take painkillers like every single day, maybe once a day. That's like a low intake, right? Sometimes, yeah, nowadays I just skip, you know, every so often, but now it's sometimes you're dealing with headaches, or it's back pain, knee pain, you know, besides the pain from the painful periods. And sometimes, you know, there's nothing strong enough, and you have to then go to the emergency room and ask them to, you know what, I'm in pain, I need pain management, and they put you on a drip and you deal, right? And that's not sustainable to do that all the time or every month when you're on your period. It's really not, you know, because then there's expenses. Don't even get me started on how much all of this is, you know. I'll probably make a video about you know, dealing with chronic pain and budgeting or expenses, you know, the cost of it, because don't take it lightly. You get 1 box of, let's say, Microdol, that's a few boxes in a month, right? That's, never mind the pads, you know, which is another thing. Pads or tampons that you're using. I choose not to use tampons anymore, right? I have my own experience with that. I'll also share one day. But pads, eating pads, the cost, it's so expensive, you know. But anyway, I was just basically saying that there is pill fatigue, and you get tired of just taking pills to get up, pills to go to bed. It's so tiring, you know. But that's just some of the ways that I manage pain. Another thing that I really want to dive into is the anti-inflammatory diet, right? So there are homeopathic remedies, and then there is this anti-inflammatory diet, because essentially some of the things that trigger pain and inflammation is in the food that we eat, right? There is no one cure, one remedy. In fact, there's no cure for endometriosis. However, there are ways to manage all these different, I think womb related issues and inflammation in general, right? So I have seen the benefit of the anti-inflammatory diet and how it has literally saved my life, so I will break that down and go into it a little bit deeper in a different video. But I want to say that, find your methods of dealing with pain. If contraceptives are not for you, by all means, 100%, so I don't want to be shamed for not, because it just doesn't work for me. It aggravates my symptoms. And if I take painkillers on a daily, I need you to just be kind to me, because that's probably how I'm choosing to deal, all kinds of different methods, right? The teas, the supplements, all of these are just ways I'm trying to manage my pain and my experience, right? So yeah, that's just a little bit into my experience with contraceptives and how I deal with pain. Just like a look into my handbag, like a little bit. There are so many other remedies. I will share a quick one that blew my mind, and I don't even know the science behind it. But what happens, right, when I'm having or when I would have a really, really painful period, and like where I can't even move, which is often that's how it would be. But literally my mom would say, grate a potato. And obviously when you're in your own, like you're in pain, you're in this zone, you can't do a lot for yourself, so it's important to have a great support system. That is something that has really helped me. I have great support, and unfortunately maybe not everyone has that, and I do take that into consideration. However, this remedy, right, ask someone to grate a raw potato for you, put it in a sock, okay, put it where the pain is, and like cling wrap around like your stomach, right? And then put a towel, just tight as possible. Put it for 15 to 20 minutes, okay? Not longer, okay? Just 15 to 20 minutes, and that's it. And then you remove it. When you open that sock, it would have turned black or red or something, but it would have absorbed some, I guess, toxins, right? And it's so crazy to me, because for me, it actually relieved me of some pain. And I'm like, what? That's so crazy. So I feel like some of our, our parents, our grandmothers have these hidden gems where we don't necessarily have to rely on, all this medication, all these drugs, and we really maybe can go back to like natural remedies and stuff like that for our healing, so that's just like a quick tip. Give it a try. If you do, let me know if it worked for you. If it didn't, I'm sorry. Everything kind of works differently for everybody. But yeah, that was just a little bit about how I manage pain. I cannot wait to share few more things with you, especially the anti-inflammatory diet, because I had mentioned to you before, Dr. Bulatov saved my life with it, and I've seen the difference. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, okay, so why aren't you like consistently on it? And again, it's not easy, however, I can't wait to share with you. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys again in the next video.